What's the worst part of being a waitress in the West End? In West End.
In West End, particularly the worst
Is there
part.
is there a bad part? Maybe there isn't one.
No, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Yes,
You
very
do.
interesting.
Is that why you do it?
No, why I do it is just I needed to get back to work just for something to do.
Yes.
And I'd never been a waitress before. I don't know if my boss knows that. So.
what did you tell him?
I didn't tell her anything. I just told her I was willing to do anything for
Right.
money.
Right. What were you doing before?
I was just playing guitar at home and not doing much else.
Yeah.
I need to get back into the outside world, interact with humans again.
I would hesitate to try and guess what sort of music you write.
Oh, go on, have a shot. I'm going to try and say something different. Okay, it's punk rock, yeah.
Oh, right. I
It's
wasn't
rock
gonna
and
say
rolly,
that.
sort of. But who knows? We're just babies. We'll see where we develop. We could be genius, something cutting edge one day.
Yeah.
My dream is to sing for a bluesy, soul-y sort of band. That's what I'd love to do.
Who are sort of your, give us an idea of some of the...
Oh, Janis Joplin.
Okay.
I'd love to be Janis Joplin, apart from the dead factor.
One small thing, but that sort of voice.
Yeah.
Very vibrant, very...
Yes. I can hear all of her in it.
Right.
Huge voice.
Does your life get into your songs?
Yeah, it's nothing but that, I'd say. I can't really choose a topic and write about it or want to write like a style, and it frustrates me a lot because there are ways I do want to write, but it's not me and it doesn't come out like that.
It's not supposed to be that easy.
I know, it's not. That's why I had to divorce myself from people for so long.
From everybody?
Yeah.
Literally?
No, not everybody.
No. Special person in your life?
Yeah, I live with a special boy.
He was a special boy?
He is a special boy, yes.
Yeah.
He's
Musician?
my smile. Yes, he's a musician too.
Yeah. Is that a good thing?
We get stressed out a bit much at the same time, yeah. And our bands sort of do a similar thing and are in a similar sort of success rate in this town. So eventually maybe we'll be split up by it,
Yeah.
Who knows?
But you like him, he's your smile, you said.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know. I just like what he's all about.
Yeah.
I
Just
haven't
the
met
whole-
anyone that I just
Yeah.
appreciated everything of before.
Yeah. Did you meet in a musical?
Yes.
Yeah.
All bands.
And then you hit the right note at the same time?
No, it was a bit of a struggle actually.
Was it?
I wouldn't go into it too much, but there was other relationships involved at the time, and we like to say that we couldn't keep away from each other, and it had to happen like this.
Yeah. And it did over a fairly quick period of time?
No, about a year.
Oh, that long?
Yeah, actually, come to think of it. Yeah, it built up for a long time. It was quite a courtship.
Yeah.
Chose not to use the word affair.
Yes, that's good. Did you talk to your mum about him at the time?
No,
No.
I didn't.
She didn't know anything about it?
No.
Does she now?
Yes. You're good at this. Yes, she does now.
Yeah. And Dad?
No. I'm sure my dad knows I live for the first time with just one other person, and it's a boy, and one of
And it's
those
more
big
than friends.
relationships.
Yeah.
but he doesn't know him, and no.
Why is that?
I just don't. If I don't contact my father, I won't
he's not
really.
with your mother?
No,
Yeah.
they're split up.
Yeah.
But there's love, lots of love
Yes,
and stuff
yeah.
like that. But he can't really come to the party. You know what I mean?
It's not that sort of intimacy.
No, not anymore. Yeah.
But you ring him, and I mean, if you needed help, would you ring
without
him?
a doubt. Yeah, he'd be
But
there.
you'd ring your mum first, I guess.
Yeah, it
Depends what
depends
it
on what the problem was, I think.
Is there any problem you wouldn't ring your mum about and ring your dad instead?
Possibly money. That's terrible. Possibly money.
Yeah.
Information on things, fatherly things that he knows a lot about music, so I'd ring him about questions about guitars and stuff.
Would you ring him? You're obviously not about men.
No way. No, that's a bit shy. I don't think I'd like to talk to my dad about boys.
Your boyfriend, I mean, can we give it a name?
We can. Do you want it to be a fake name?
I don't mind, up to you.
We'll call him Johnny.
Okay. What do you call him?
Richard.
You always call Richard?
Bubbles.
Bubbles.
It's terrible, and I wouldn't have told anyone but you that. Evil man.
What I was going to ask you was, what is the thing that he sees? What do you think he sees in you? What is your perception? What do you project to him?
Yeah, there's two different things there, I'd say. What do I project to him? There's quite an age gap. He's a lot older than I am. But he's a really young person at heart, and I think that's got a bit to do with it. And I'm very old in the back of my brain somewhere, and I think that's got something to do with it too.
Old but not cynical.
No, not yet.
No.
Very not cynical yet. Too trusting a lot, but yeah, a little. I'm starting to wise up a little, I hope.
The trick is to wise up without getting hard, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Be
Can be
yourself.
done.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Can it?
I don't know.
Tell me.
I'm just guessing. I'm just guessing. If you could, would you stop being a waitress, or is this too much fun?
You know, I really love it.
Yeah.
I do love it here. I came and asked for a job here because we were regulars here, and I love the people that owned it. And yeah, it's good to like master things you never thought you'd have to, just to get that, you know, bit of respect for yourself as well. And plus, I'm one of the clumsiest people I've ever met, and that slowly has to stop now.
You're a long-time West Indian, is that
I've been living here since 1973.
And you won't move?
Oh, no, I won't.
But it must have changed, that's 30 years. It must have changed a hell of a lot.
Well, when I came to West End, early 70s, people used to make jokes about West End.
In what way? Derogatory?
Derogatory jokes.
Yeah, like dead end, that kind of thing.
What's blue and white on the outside and black on the inside? The last bus to West End, stuff like that. You know?
Yeah.
I came from New Zealand to live and work, and I actually to study in the 1970s.
What were you studying?
I did Asian Studies at Griffith University.
And what did you do? Did you do anything with Asian studies?
Yeah, I went to China 2 years. But since I've been back from China, that was in 1979 and 1980 I was in China. Since I've been back from China, I've remained in West End. I owned Cafe Bohemia. I had a cafe in the Hardgrave Road for 10 years, which is a well-known landmark in West End and around Brisbane. And it's not, it doesn't exist anymore, but the memory lives on.
What did you do in China?
I taught English in China.
Yeah, now there's quite a few Australians who do that. Is that just a lifestyle thing? Is it just for fun?
Well, I think I was a bit different to the other people that go to teach in China. See, I did a course in Asian Studies. I studied the Chinese language for 3 years at Griffith University. Then I went to China to teach English. So I had a grounding in Chinese, which makes it you get much more out of going to China if you speak Chinese.
Are you married?
I'm actually separated. The cafe that I had for 10 years separated was just too much strain on me and my partner, so we're not even together anymore now.
Right, that's a fairly high price to pay for the cafe.
It is, yeah. Well, there's a lot of people that have benefited from the cafe, from the the culture that we provided, but it split us up, unfortunately.
So, but you still hang around here because you like the lifestyle and the culture and the people. You have a lot of friends here.
Yes, well, I can sit at this cafe here, Cafe Tempo, any day, and within minutes of sitting having coffee with someone. Yeah. So I know a whole heap of people in West End now.
What do you talk about?
We talk about all different things. So we talk about culture. We talk about how West End's changing. Like you walk down a street and you see a house with paint peeling off it, and you think, oh, it's nice to see a bit of the old West End. And you see a bit of grass growing in the yard, and you think, oh, this house hasn't been done up yet. It's lovely. Because of the increase in the value of real estate, a lot of the people that actually gave West End its culture are being forced to move out, like musicians and artists. And many people actually have moved into West End because of the bohemian thing. But as soon as they come into West End, like rich people, they force the property values up, and the bohemian people all move out.
If you were, say, the mayor, how would you change the place?
Well, if I were the mayor of Brisbane, I would actually provide, I'd set up a fund to fund like cafes and places of entertainment where they're like for culture. Because I think that there's a lot of juvenile delinquency out there because people haven't got any culture, or they haven't got places where they can meet up. And that's, when I was in the Cafe Bohemia, we saved a lot of people from the loony bin because we offered culture and places for people to meet up and exchange ideas and exchange culture.
I'd vote for you.
Thank you.
What's the story with her beautiful wig? Is that her favourite wig?
No, the Avid Bookstore's got a whole heap of dress-ups, and every Saturday we come here and she puts a different outfit on.
Oh, okay. So
last week it was elephant ears.
Yes.
This time she's got a little angel outfit. The lady in the shop said to me, I wasn't sure whether this is a real person or a doll.
Well, if she stood still, she would probably pass for a beautiful doll.
Oh, yes, we think so.
Yeah. What's her name?
Josephine.
Josephine. Where did that come from?
It's my grandmother's middle name.
Uh-huh.
And it's Josephine Zoe. It means bringer of is Josephine, and Zoe's life. So bringer of life.
Right.
Josie, darling.
I'm walking off the set now.
I think I might have to go and get her. See you later.
See you later. You were going into a sock shop.
We were going into a fashion shop.
Fashion shop to do what?
Shopping.
Shopping.
Yep.
And why are you on crutches?
I had my leg lengthened.
Which one?
This one.
This one.
It was.
How do you have your leg lengthened?
It's Ilazarov, and you break the bone, and then you pull it apart.
Right. And then what do you put in the middle?
Wait for new bone goes in the middle.
Oh.
7
How-
centimetres.
7
centimetres.
Uh-huh.
That's a lot. That's a lot. And how long did it take to?
Well, the lengthening took 70 days, but I've been on crutches for a year.
And how long will you be on crutches still?
Only a couple more weeks, hopefully. I'm gradually getting off them now. So.
Right. How does it feel?
Well, it's feeling better now because I can actually walk around a bit,
Right.
but I'm so sick of crutches, I'm going to burn them.
All your life you had one leg shorter than the other?
Yeah, 12 centimetres shorter than the other. I was born with it.
Right.
And
That would make you very lopsided. How do you deal with that?
I just...
That was you. That was like when you were a kid, you sort of accepted that's how it is.
Yeah.
People tease you about it?
No.
No.
If anyone ever teased me about it, I tend to tease them back about something. I never really...
Wouldn't
never-
take anything lying down. All right.
It's a disability, but I've never really thought of myself as disabled, so...
Yeah. I don't think of you as disabled either.
When she was 3 and she realised that her leg was never going to be the same as the other one and it was shorter, she got really upset. She ran into a bed and she's lying there looking at her legs and saying, why can't it be the same as the other one? And then she was pretty upset and I thought, oh no, this is the moment at which
Yes.
she's going to have
Trauma, yes.
Whereas that afternoon she got up and she thought, oh, who cares? And just went on with life and that was it. That was the day.
Yes.
We had one day and then
Yes.
that was it.
What do you do about clothes? Jeans.
Well, I used to have a big brace
Right.
on my leg and no clothes. It went all the way up to my hip. It was like rings
Yes.
round and I had big metal rods going through my leg.
Very good look if you're a
Yeah.
Terminator.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah, I was cyborg girl. But no, so none of the clothes fitted me, so Mum and I had to make all my skirts.
Right.
And so I've got all those things. And this is actually the first pair of jeans that I've ever
Really?
owned.
The very first.
Yep.
That'll go into a museum.
I write stories. I've been writing stories for as long as I can remember. I've got so many notebooks.
with one hero or heroine or
No,
lots of different things.
I write about all different kinds of things, just whatever.
From your life?
I think that I tend to write like what I would like to happen in my life. So depending on what I'm doing or if I see someone just in the street or my friends, a lot of my friends are in my books and stuff. And,
Would they like themselves in your books?
yeah. No one's actually ever read my stories.
No.
I don't. I think my friend Kelly is the only one who's ever really heard anything that I've written. And she liked it.
And
so,
she liked it?
Yeah.
And you're going to keep it that way? You're going to...
Yeah, I don't think... Writing's really a hobby for me.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd want to turn it into a career because it's just something that I do.
Yeah. For yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I go home and I write.
Terrific.
That's what I do.
And you're now going to go and buy some clothes.
I'd like to if my mum would let me.
Where are you going?
We're going to Stone's Corner.
What's at Stone's Corner?
We're going to pick up some bargains.
Bargain
Shopping.
shopping.
Retail.
Food.
Like just groceries and stuff.
Probably a bit better than groceries. We'll probably get some fine Italian produce and see how we go. Yeah.
To cook up a smashing meal.
Yeah, we've got some buddies coming over for dinner, so we sort of we owe them a couple, so we better get in and do a good job, I think. I'm a software developer, a programmer.
Right. Is that a sexy kind of job?
It's probably not, but it's.
But you pretend it is.
I pretend it is, and yeah, no, it's just a really quiet. I think it's a bit like accounting, really. It's just something you do, and it's not really sexy, and you don't tend to work ridiculous hours. It's not like being a photographer or a recording artist or something, because it's not that sexy.
What would you like to do? Is there something you'd like to do?
Yes, I was a recording engineer for about 10 years.
Music industry?
Yes, I loved it. It was fantastic. But I found
that's a sexy job.
Well, yeah, I guess so, yeah. But I found I'd go to work at 9 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't know if I was going to be home at 9 o'clock that night or 3 o'clock the next morning. Yes. And sometimes you seriously did 24 hours without going home, and it really gets to you.
That was the downside. What do you do?
I'm a youth worker.
In a specialist area?
No, I work with young kids at risk, so teenagers with complex needs.
And what do? You talk to them and
help them, advocate for them, help them find other services, do counselling type work, try and help them get their lives on track. Yeah. Everyone's got some motivating factor in their lives, I think, and it's trying to get people to sort of realise what's important and what the consequences of what they're doing is going to be.
I know this is a very difficult question off the top of your head. What do you think your motivating factor or factors are? What drives you?
Probably just really, you need an income, you need a job. That's number one. I even say quite regularly, isn't it fantastic? You get paid every week. It's great. It is amazing. It's great.
And you?
Me? I just want to live a simple, happy life, and I really like community. And I think that's one of the things that we try to do at work, is to try and engage people in their community, and we live in these big cities, and it can be very fragmented.
Well, it sounds like you're doing your bit.
Trying.
And you're doing your bit tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
We're not invited, I guess. Never mind.
No worries.
See you later.
I've worked most of my adult life in retail, with the exception of a couple of years which I did in hospitality.
So you like retail?
Yeah, I've just recently come back to it again. After working in coffee shops and running restaurants and bars and so forth, like Tivoli. From that, I DJ occasionally from time to time.
Right.
And do a lot of water sports. Surfing, fishing.
Yeah,
and that's my exercise. And walking to work from New Farm, so that's my weekly work exercise.
How important is work?
Extremely important.
Apart from money, I mean, is it?
Apart from money, for my own personal. Is it important? Yeah, it's extremely important. From the fact that, from a personal point of view, it's nice to be able to help people. It doesn't matter whether it's, you get the same sort of satisfaction out of hospitality as well, but out of retail, you're just a little bit more relaxed. It's a little bit more enjoyable. You can have a little bit more fun with the customers.
And you're still in touch with your family?
Still in touch with my family, yep. Some of them live out up past Ipswich in Rosewood.
Would your mum buy any of this gear?
Mum's a bit of a country lady. I'm sure I could persuade her into buying some of the jeans and maybe some of the tops.
That's
a bit outrageous for my mum. She's a little bit conservative sometimes. My sisters would probably wear it though.
Yeah.
My brother's also very conservative as well. Some of the clothes.
So you're different in your family.
I'm the black sheep of the family. I'm the odd one out. I'm the right out there, sort of groovy, sort of in your face sort of person compared to the rest of my family.
How did that happen?
Throwback, I think. Unlucky. No, not unlucky.
What's your dad like? Is he like
my dad? My dad, unfortunately, isn't with me anymore. He passed away several years ago now.
Do you remember him?
I remember him. Yeah, he passed away when I was 11. He's exactly like me. We're a spitting image. He used to be one of the major national sales reps for Singer sewing machines. Believe it or not, it's fashion still.
Yeah.
And he used to box as well. I used to do that when I was younger also. So sort of, in some ways, I've followed in his footsteps unconsciously. It's just happened, what I mean? Just
genetic.
The way, it's genetic. A lot of it's probably got to do with fortune too, you know what I mean? That's obviously where I was meant to head, so.
Does your mum ever talk about that you like
him? All the time. She's got pictures around the house, and I'm the baby of the family, so I get spoiled a fair bit by my mum and by one of my sisters. So I get a lot of leeway and I get away with a lot of stuff, especially when I was younger. I'm sort of growing up now, though, and realised I was a bit wild in the past. But anyway,
you remember?
Can't change that. Yeah, I remember my past quite well.
Have you apologised?
Poor mum, being pretty wild at school.
Yeah.
Having the headmaster and the deputy principal and everything phone up, and teachers phoning up constantly and trying to find out where the hell I am. It wasn't at school.
Mm-hmm. Did you get into drugs at all?
No, not really. Not when I was younger. Like, you know what I mean? To be quite honest and lay it on the line, most teenagers, you know what I mean? I've got a daughter that I don't see at the moment. We don't see each other anymore because personal reasons for the mother.
Is she a teenager?
No, she's only young.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things. You've got to look at it from a perspective that, yeah, when I was younger, like, you know what I mean? I did drink alcohol below the legal age. I think most kids do these days. I know a lot of mates, their parents allowed them to drink alcohol, only when they're confined to the house, where they can keep an eye on them, at family functions.
But that's more kind of an act of rebellion and so forth.
It is. Well, the thing is, most kids in some way, shape or form are going to try something or experiment with things along the line.
And nothing to do with having an unhappy family life.
Not at all. Like, you know what I mean? Even though I was wild, my family life was more than happy.
Yeah.
I suppose it started off with music in the beginning, then I got into a serious relationship, hence my daughter. And then from there, when we broke up, I did go through a bit of a rough patch, I must admit, and I found myself back with music again. So that was more or less my little sort of escape, my way of dealing with things. I could lose myself to my music. And
that rough patch was presumably
after the separation, trying to, you know, when you're in a long-term relationship, doesn't matter whether you're married, you know, obviously being married and going through a divorce makes it a little bit more harder on you financially.
Yeah.
Because we all know what solicitors are like. Yeah, but it is a shame. I think the pressures placed on people that today are a lot greater, obviously with the cost of living. You know what I mean?
Was it inevitable that you break up, and was it just that you weren't compatible long term?
It was, you know, to be realistic and honest about the whole thing, you know what I mean? I still thought she was a wonderful person. It's just that we grew in different directions. Yeah. Me and her mother don't get on anymore. We don't really talk, so therefore I don't really see her. Yeah. Which, you know what I mean? But I'm a believer in the fact that I don't regret having her, but the day comes when she wants to find out who her father is, then she'll find me in her own way, you know, in her own way and time. Yeah. So from there,
you've dealt with it though. I mean,
I've dealt with it. I've got on with it. I think you've got to, you know, everybody's different and everybody deals with things in their own way. Some people get over things quickly. Some people take a long time to get over. Like I know now, it's been 17 years since my father passed away, and my mother's still having trouble trying to deal. You know, she's still dealing with it now. I think in a lot of ways you don't sort of get over mourning the person that you've lost, but a lot of other people cover it up a lot better than others do. You know what I mean? A lot of people think that maybe it's wrong to be grieving or to be mourning a person as long as what they have. So therefore they put up a false face. They put on a face just to hide it all, which to me, if you know you're still grieving, you're still grieving. It's just a process, you know. Everybody takes certain lengths of time to deal with it. So, but so
work helps.
Work helps. Yeah, I'm not the best salesperson in the world.
You're not.
You know what I mean? No. I'd like to meet the person who is though. I get a few tips, but it's one of those things. I think I'm a reasonably good salesperson.
You relate to people.
I relate to people. I'm a people person. No, not at all. That's one thing though is. I know, being just a consumer myself, the fact that I treat people the way I want to be treated when I go shopping, and that's not jump down your throat, hi, how you doing, and make them buy half a dozen things that when they get home they think, what the hell did I buy this for? I have no need for it. You know what I mean? We and that's one of the policies with Angie's business is to let the customers take their time, say hello to them. You don't try and force yourself to be their best friend, but just to be, you know, make them feel comfortable and welcome and let them know that, look, we're not going to try and make you buy half a dozen things you don't need. You buy at your own leisure. If you want to try something on or need help with something, change rooms there. We're here. More than happy to help.